All right, everyone, welcome back to Sunday Rumble number 10. Into the finals we go between CakeWatch and the Merry Men. Of course, CakeWatch being a combination of Cake and Overwatch teams. And we are getting into our first match on Battle of the Dunes. Of course, it is going to be a best of three as always. So here we go. With me now as well is Papa Paradox. So, Mr. Pops, why don't you take it away with the loadouts?
On the Sober Australian, we have a Hwacha goldfish with flamer sides, and on the Drunken Asian, we have a carronade mortar set up with a Hades flare left side. Very interesting. And on the However We Died, we have a squid with a carronade front, banshee right, and mine launcher backside. And on the Broken Submarine, we have Gat mortar front and carronade flare left side.
Yep, so we do see a return of Zill's squid, which we saw a couple of times earlier today. Of course, Zill changed to a galleon to combat Wolfpack's aggressive Pyramidion fighting. But he is back to the squid now, which might end up being a good choice to try to avoid the Watcher shots that we've seen the Silver Australian pull off before.
Anything that blue team can do to try and get red team to waste Hwacha rounds is prime, and if anyone can do it, it's still that's for sure.
Yep, of course, squids being very, very maneuverable. I'm not quite sure where the Australian was turning there. I guess they're just going to take up the other side of the Asian than they were before. The broken submarine, however he died, has been just sitting out in the open here, almost acting just like bait,
As
while
bait.
the broken
Yeah,
submarine
it's
is
it's,
just
it's
sitting behind that
so
cloud.
painfully obvious.
Yeah, that's the sort of bait where it's screaming, "Hey guys, I'm just gonna sit right." And of course, the Cakewatch is just not going for it at all. They're just sitting right back here, like we see you, we see you, baby. Just shaking your
Ooh,
thing.
nice flare. Zill was trying to take it, try and use that cloud cover as an in to try and close some distance, but he got flared up and he is spotted, dodging a nice portion of that Hwacha barrage mortar, running way off to the side, and now he just needs to, or the Drunken Asian needs to start getting some carronade fire in there.
Yep, but just not going to be able to do so, and is still evading the Hwacha shots of the Silver Australian. Little bit of fire going on, and okay, Hwacha shot's not the greatest, but the problem is that in the meantime, Broken Submarine has come right in here. Hades and shots missing absolutely everything, as the Broken Submarine is just raining fire down onto the Asian, and now How We Died is also trying to do basically the exact same thing. And so far, there's Silver Australian able to do absolutely nothing there, as the Drunken Asian goes down to the combined fire of the How We Died and the Broken Submarine.
However We Died was being a very good mosquito type deal, just being annoying and drawing focus while the Broken Submarine just absolutely tore them open. Beautiful play from blue team.
This is, I think, what we see the lost art of the squid. The squid is as valuable just purely as a distraction to draw off their fire, so they don't know where to shoot as much as it is just a ship in its own right.
Yeah, the
One more
Silver
mortar shot. He's got
Australian.
nothing but whole sober
Oh,
Australian just
managed to rebuild it.
surviving that.
Yeah, managed to rebuild there. Oh, but he does go down finally to that combined fire, so just not able to get out. And the Drunken Asian is now right in this line of fire, exactly where they do not want to be, taking shots from both of these teams. Now, the Silver Australian respawns in a position which could both be incredibly helpful and incredibly terrible for them, which I think will end up being the latter rather than the former, as the Drunken Asian is moving away from his teammate rather than going towards him.
That was a beautiful play by Zill. Just poked him enough so that the Drunken Agent switched focus, and then he just dropped with shoot vent, completely breaking arcs. And now he's just sitting on top of him. And this will be a pretty quick kill unless Sober Australian can get from the middle of the map in.
But not able to do so. Broken Submarine using that medium build to full effectiveness, and however we died. That was a I have a feeling that was a mistake tar there. There's no reason to tar there whatsoever. But, Sober Australian now being driven back by the However We Died. Now let's
Effects
see.
of using your scroll wheel.
Yeah, there you go. Uh, Hwacha shots coming in, hitting pretty much nothing but a little bit of balloon. The Drunken Asian gets gets an interesting
Decent
spawn
spawn.
there.
He can
Uh,
get back in this fight. Sober Australian's just gonna book it and try to meet up with him.
yeah, the problem
And
is that the
Broken
Broken
Submarine's
Submarine
gonna
is
move
here.
too. Gonna
And
try and move the cutoff, but he can just run. And
yeah,
then it'll be a nice swap in focus as soon as Drunken Asian passes the midpoint.
and
Nice
he is
Phoenix Claw.
right in here, but he is going after the squid, and I don't agree with this at all. You don't,
Overshoots
yeah,
both
overshoots the
turning.
squid. Oh, that was just not
That's
a
not a
good.
good engagement.
Yeah, that's not how you
And
want
Zill's
to do it.
behind them.
He should have gone for the Broken Submarine from the start, left the squid to run on by. And now the Drunken Asian is getting by the Broken Submarine. The Broken Submarine, however, is taking damage as well. Are they going to be able to get some mortar shots in here? Not quite before that armor goes back up. In the meantime, the Silver Australian has lost its balloon as the However We Died is poking it, being generally annoying.
So now it's how well Zill can avoid those Hwacha shots, and unfortunately his luck's running out. He just lost two engines. He's got all four at this point.
Yeah, he does manage to get to the other side of that dust
Boy,
cloud,
that was good.
thankfully. Drunken Asian sitting in some tar here, which is not going to be good for it. But yeah, the However We Died is now. Ooh,
Yeah,
there
he is
goes.
dead in the water in a dust cloud. He is not having a good day, and if he manages to get out of this, I'd be very surprised. Broken Submarine still brawling with Drunken Asian. Drunken Asian was, of course, sitting
In some
in
tar,
tar.
yeah, and that knocked out a few of its guns, which is going to be generally annoying. But Broken Submarine right now is taking more of the damage as its balloon is down. That carronade front doing work from Drunken Asian. Hwacha shots coming in, once again disabling all sorts of stuff. And this is the Hwacha that we saw in these past few matches from the Sober Australian. Drunken Asian taking out the Broken Submarine finally, and now this squid is just here for the taking, as it's got basically no engines, no balloon, no armor, no health, and it's a 3-2 lead now, only for the Merry Men. So CakeWatch making a little bit of a comeback here.
That's something you never want happening. Exposing your the backside of a squid to a Hwacha. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't faced with that many choices. It was either run or die. So, he had to turn around. But yeah, once you expose your backside to a Hwacha, you're just asking for it. And then you're disabled, sitting there and waiting for death.
Yep. All right. So thankfully for the Merry Men, their spawns were on the opposite side of the map, fairly close together, so they did not get screwed by that spawn. They are able to get back together, you know, almost immediately. Uh, and we will see how they approach this next set of fights. I have a feeling we're going to see a flare go down into this passing set of clouds here fairly soon. Or at least there should have been, but looks like
Yeah,
they're opting
spawn's all
not to.
going down. This white cloud's kind of obscuring the fact that there's a dust cloud right there, I believe.
Yeah, but there we
Not
go. Finally,
quite.
flare going in. However, the Sober Australian is now getting peppered by the submarine and the However We Died. Watch the shots go off, not doing a whole lot, and the Sober Australian still under fire by the Broken Submarine. The Drunken Asian not in any sort of position to help here as those mortar shots come raining in, and the Sober Australian goes down and is just left to this one ship. One ship only, one kill left for the Merry Men before they win this game. Let's see if the Drunken Asian can pull this out as the Broken Submarine lays down a little bit more tar kind of needlessly once again. Sober Australian comes into a pretty good spawn considering they need to get back in here as soon as possible as the Drunken Asian is trying to take out the submarine, but that ram actually hurts it more than it helps it, and the Drunken Asian has lost all of its armor. That mortar fire coming down, and the Drunken Asian is hurting so much. Can the sober Australian come in here to help them out at all? Balloon down,
He needs
armor
one lucky heavy
down.
Hwacha on the top of that broken submarine to even attempt to try and stay in this fight, but he's focusing Zill
He has
a
focusing
bit
Zill.
futilely, I believe.
Does get the armor down, but I mean that's you can kind of uh, just wave a fan at a squid and its armor will go down. A lot of fire now onto Zill's ship, gonna help out a lot. And it looks like the Drunken Asian has been able to escape here for the time being, but the broken submarine is coming up once more, and this is going to be
And
the
there it
final
goes.
few shots coming from the broken submarine, and down goes CakeWatch to the 5
Zill's
to
ship
2 lead.
Zill's ship was a very nice, kind of ultimatum. It's you focus him or one of your ships on your team is just gone. So it forced the Hwacha Goldfish to panic quite a bit, just trying to get it disabled and out of the fight. So I believe that's what led to their downfall, over focusing the squid a bit.
All right, everyone, and welcome back to Sunday Rumble number 10, game number 2 between CakeWatch and Merry Men. Merry Men wins this. They will take their first Sunday Rumble championship, first new Sunday Rumble champion in I don't know how many weeks because Wolfpack has been winning them all. All right, pop-up Paradox. Let's run down the ships, shall we?
We have the Sober Australian and a Hwacha Goldfish with 2 flamers once again. Drunken Asian rocking the Mortar Carronade, which did them pretty well last game. Hades Flare on the left of that ship, and however we died, Carronade front. Banshee right, and Mine Launcher back, so completely support from Zill once again. And a Broken Submarine taking the Gap Mortar Pyramidion with Carronade Flare left.
Yep. So no changes in ship loadouts. We're going to have the exact same 2 sets of teams, 2 sets of players, 2 sets of ships going at it once more. We'll see if it manages to work out better for CakeWatch this time around. We'll see if they focus maybe a little bit more on the broken submarine than trying to. Audio's on. I don't know why people are.
I don't know. Someone was saying.
I mean, you don't hear game sounds because there's nothing happening in game so far. All right, so here we go. Sober Australian has been spotted, and so has the Drunken Asian. So so far, only however we died has been spotted from the Merry Men. Broken Submarine should be spotted fairly soon. There we go. So Merry Men trying to go around this ridge here, and you often see ships setting up in this type of engagement. There's a lot of debris to hide behind if you're taking too much fire.
Yeah, and there's a lot of nice potential maneuvers that Zill can use this arc to try and shake gun arcs from the red team while consistently harassing them.
Yeah, and especially when you have a Hwacha, if a full Hwacha barrage, or even half a Hwacha barrage goes into this terrain here, it's such a waste. We've discussed not hitting fully with Hwacha can be quite a detriment to the person
Especially
using
if
the
you
Hwacha.
only have one, and that's half of your
Yeah, that's half the team
output
essentially.
right
Yeah.
there.
One
So you
thing
wanna
is
have
that
that.
we've
Hold
seen Zill make such great use of vertical movement this whole time with the squid, and he's got more scope than ever before on fjords.
Yeah, and they are just chasing that Silver
All on the
Australian
balloon.
down. On the balloon does take the balloon out, however, so it can't continue this chasing. But the broken submarine is coming out after it. Now let's see if that Hwacha manages to take out the Sober Australian. Oh no, they're actually gonna duck behind this ridge over here, and oh, they are stuck. They're stuck into this pillar. And the broken submarine is going to come right around, but I think they're just going to overshoot it. And the Silver Australian is going to get themselves unstuck and get a full Hwacha barrage into the broken submarine. And that was
a nice play by Drunken
huge
Asian to cut off
turnaround.
Zill.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think the broken submarine knew that they were stuck here. Otherwise, they would have turned a lot quicker. And that Valkyrie actually helped the Silver Australian a little bit there, as it allowed them to stop on a dime. And now the broken submarine gets taken down by the Drunken Asian. Now, however we died is feeling the effects of that Hwacha, trying to do a little bit of a bumping on the Drunken Asian. But this is not going to end well for this squid.
Big hits, three engines gone, balloon is down, that squid is hurting bad. I mean, as soon as the drunken Asian got behind the broken submarine, it was a rough start for blue team in that engagement.
Absolutely, and Drunken Asian pursuing the How We Died, ooh, backs up into some debris, gonna get knocked down into this water, and any sort of damage is gonna just take this squid out. Come on, Drunken Asian, you can do it. Okay, look, if Zill gets out of this, just
He
build a
still has
shrine for
balloon
him.
engines.
Yeah, just
Yep, he managed to get it all back up, but he coasted right into them instead of
okay. There
again,
we
he
go.
didn't want to turn his engines to the watches, which is fair enough.
I was gonna
Try and
say if
play
Zill
with
could get
vertical
out,
move.
if Zill could get out of that. I mean, look, if any captain could get out of that, if I had to choose a captain, I would say Zill had a pretty good chance of being that one captain. But still, that would have been some voodoo magic going on there. But instead, CakeWatch does finish it off, and well, here we go, 2-0 lead for the Cake Watchers. So off to a very good start for them. And I mean, that was a still really strange how that Velcro they by the Silver Australian helped them turn or stop faster than they usually would be able to, and they got right out of it, turning the way that they needed to, got a full Watcher barrage off onto the broken submarine, and that basically, well, just spelled the Merrymen's doom. All right, so getting back into this match, we've got broken submarine being spotted. And well, I mean, what do you think? Are the Merry Men gonna try to go ahead here, or are they just gonna sit back down here the entire time?
I think they had the right idea. They want to use terrain to try and duck and dive and be annoying in that squid, but the execution was completely flawed. They let the Pyramidion get behind their only DPS ship, so that just spelled ill-fated for them right off the bat. They need to try and keep that Watcha from disabling their Pyramidion
Yeah.
like a lot. That one just cleanly swept the entire ship and like everything was down.
Yeah.
Make sure they're trying to futilely target the squid as it's ducking and diving,
Hmm.
so the Pyramidion can come in for the knockout punch.
Yep.
But
And
we're starting to see Overwatch kind of wisen up to what they're trying to do. So they're like, okay, we're not going to be focusing that squid anymore.
it's actually this position is actually a little bit funny because if you remember from last match, we had the squid being out in the open with the Pyramidion hiding, and now we have the exact opposite. The Pyramidion's like, "Oh, look at me, giant, big, juicy target. You totally want to come with that Watcha and just knock me out all over the place." And yeah, Cakewatch is just having none of it. Absolutely no interest in playing the Merryman's game.
Oh, we've got kind of a Romeo and Juliet story here.
I was just
Norwegian
reading that.
wolf offering to marry Balana. Um,
It's B.E.
but Balana's
Lana.
saying she'd rather chew glass. Not very nice.
Ouch.
But she still said she might. So what's that say about her?
Well, you never, you need, you know, you want to keep your options open, right? All right.
It's more pleasant than chewing glass.
Well, marriage can be tough. I okay. While we got a little bit of wild firing here with nobody really doing anything, How We Died has come down to the side. But I do want to remind everyone that basically right after this game ends, we are not going to be having a community chat like we usually do because we got to get the Invalid Conflict recording started. So basically, a couple of minutes after this cast ends, we will be starting with those matchups, and you can enjoy more fantastic Guns of Icarus play going on. I really highly suggest you do watch them because there are some absolutely amazingly fantastic close games in those in the ones that we have recorded. All right, so what is going on here? Why is the However We Died all the way over here and the broken submarine is not? Oh, geez, this can go very, very badly.
They're gonna try and kite him. Oh, nice play from However We Died. He had the sober Australian swinging to try and meet the However We Died's engines, but then he completely just cut power, and now he's deking and dodging, and this is a beautiful play from the However We Died.
Yep,
Hopefully, Broken Submarine can properly opportunize off of this.
Broken Submarine going up onto the Drunken Asian. However, We Died is keeping the sober Australian occupied, only taking that flamethrower fire. Ooh, oh no!
He is all sorts of pooched right now.
Oh, that watch of fire just absolutely melting everything on that ship. And in the meantime, the Broken Submarine hasn't been able to do really anything against the Drunken Asian. You know, some balloons down, some armors down, but really no killing blow going on. Now let's see if the Sober Australian can actually do anything with this, because while it does have disabling capabilities, its DPS ship is nowhere near here either. So this is kind of like two support, you know, it's like two healers trying to kill each other in other, you know, MMO type games where they kind of just bat at each other and takes forever before anything really happens.
He's a paladin who just hearths out like an asshole.
Now, if Zill didn't have that spyglass as a piloting tool, he could just hydro right up to the ceiling and kill Broken Submarine quite easily.
But he does not have hydrogen. He
But
only
he
has
does
shoot
not have
vent.
hydrogen. Yeah, he's only got sheep vent, and he's Zill
And he's
stubbornly
regretting it
refuses
really
to
hard
leave
right
the
now.
spyglass behind.
Yeah, I mean, their engineers are doing great keeping the armor up on that ship, but still losing all sorts of components now. Oh, the Drunken Asian taking a lot of damage. Broken Submarine does go down.
Nice.
Finally, the Broken Submarine finishes that off, doing a fantastic job there. However, We Died, though, is still in a lot of trouble here. But the Drunken Asian is nowhere in sight, and ooh, they actually get a fairly good spawn here. They can turn right around and get down onto the However We Died. Where's the...
Broken Submarine
Oh, there's
needs
the
to
Broken
help
Submarine.
the Australian right now before Drunken Asian comes and helps clean up that squid.
Yeah, and they're very close to being able to do that. Flare goes down over there. I'm not entirely sure by what ship, but Drunken Asian is going to come on in, and Sober Australian letting up off the However We Died. I think they are going to try to go after the Broken Submarine.
Nice
Submarine.
play here from Sober Australian. I think this was the right choice. And now he's going to be opening himself right up to a Hwacha. Big hits on the Broken Submarine.
Yeah.
Both front guns gone. Excellent play from Sober Australian. Bit of a misstep there from Lambert, who just completely opened himself up to that. Now
Yeah,
they're going to
just-
try and flame the engines.
Absolutely. And the Australian trying to get out of here. In the meantime, However We Died, trying to come in here and pester the Drunken Nation, but pestering the front side of a Pyramidian is not as effective as pestering the side of a Goldfish, and the However We Died does go down fairly quickly, and now the Broken
No
Submarine
guns.
is in a lot of trouble here as it's all sorts of disabled, and Drunken Nation is gonna rise to meet it. So what could have if the Broken Submarine had done it fast enough, maybe taken out the Sober Australian instead of getting Watched down, maybe they could have turned this into 3-2, but instead it will at that point it would have been a 2-2, but instead it will probably end up being a 4-1 lead here as the Broken Submarine. Ooh,
Beautiful
okay.
play from CakeWatch here, just helping tie this game right up. Or series, potentially.
Yeah, and there goes a
Couple
Drunken
missteps
Submarine.
from the Merryman, and However We Died looks like he's going to be meat grinding here. He's
Now the
Gonna
good
be
thing
tough
about
over top,
He's got
not
plenty of
spotted.
scope to get out of there.
Yeah.
His mind.
yeah, he is just
he's going
gonna.
to try and mine.
I don't quite know why. I think that's not a very good placement considering it's behind everyone.
Oh, it's just to discourage them from chasing him.
Yeah, that's true.
Again, he might want to encourage them to chase him.
This is very true.
Not with a Hwacha. I wouldn't gamble on that. Wouldn't gamble running away from a Hwacha. They just need one nice heavy across your backside, and then you're dead in the water.
Now
And
this CakeWatch
subsequently
team is
dead.
almost actually completely ignoring
Oh
the
my
squid.
goodness.
They just completely ignored the squid.
Zill's zipping right down. He's going in for the attack.
And oh
Wants to
no,
distract
this is a
them
very
so the
bad place to
Broken
be.
Submarine
Oh,
can
it
put
is
us behind.
in the middle of these two ships. That was a very bad place to stop on a dime. All of a sudden, the Broken Submarine is getting back in here, fighting on the Drunken Asian. But However We Died is they are not in a good position here at all. That balloon's down. Armor is up, but for how long as the Drunken Asian raining fire down onto the However We Died. But the Broken Submarine coming in.
Never
Are they going to be able to get the
calm
Drunken
down.
Asian?
Asian's armor's down.
Oh, just not quite able
Armor
to take
just
him
getting
out.
up.
Haru died once again. All sorts of guns, components dead, but the broken submarine is right on the Drunken Asian, and it is going to be able
Nice.
to take it out there. 4-2 now. Are they going to be able to turn around here? I think this Strober Australian was sitting in a little bit of tar there, continuing to tar, but oh my god, that is so much damage for that Hwacha.
Yeah.
That Hwacha
Broken
is,
submarine did not leave the drunk Asian an opportunity to even attack Zill, which was a good. So he still is at a very decent amount of perma health. But drunken Asian
Yeah,
getting a very convenient spawn here.
sober Australian holding its own long enough for Drunken Asian, I think, to take advantage of that spawn.
yeah, and it
Still
is going to
ramming
come
him.
right on in here, charging forth onto the broken submarine. However, the Silver Australian is taking fire now. Are they going to be able to knock out? Oh, yes, they are. They are
Submarines in the
using.
crossfire.
They are using.
But he is tarring, just trying to get drunken Asian's guns down.
Gets a nice little ram there, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the Drunken Asian is sitting right behind the broken submarine. I think that this will probably be the end of this game as the Hwacha shots come raining on in and those mortar shots come raining on in, and CakeWatch ties this series up 1-1. So fantastic job by them winning this game. They almost lost control of it there, but finished off very strongly. All right, everyone, we're back for the final match of the day. This is for every single marble in the land. We are on Paired Rumble. This is CakeWatch versus MM, Merry Men of Zill fame. Well, yeah, as I said, this is going to be it. Whoever wins this is going to be the first non-Wolfpack champion in something like 9 weeks or something.
9 weeks, yes.
Yeah, all right. So let's get these ship runs down as quick as we can. Let's start off with the Sober Australian.
We have Hwacha, Dual Flamer, Goldfish on the Drunken Asian. His teammate, we have the Carronade Mortar, Pyramidian, Hades Flare on the left side, rather. But then it caught fire, opting to take a Goldfish with a Carronade, opting out of the Squid, with Flare left side, Banshee right. And on the Broken Submarine, we have Gat, Mortar, Carronade, Flare on the left.
I'm not too surprised to see them taking that blender fish. That's what we in the biz like to call goldfishes with carronades up front. Of course, this map is very, very conducive to that carronade popping balloon, getting your enemies stuck into buildings style of gameplay. This is probably one of the map that frustrates most people when they are faced with that carronade. All right, so
it'll be interesting. Like, it's the same kind of tenets apply to that blenderfish. Be annoying, try and dodge, and hope to get them to focus you while the Pyramidian does work. We'll see if that playstyle pays off.
Absolutely. And of course, the Cake Watchers are just gonna continue on using that Hwacha fish. Going to try to use it to its maximum effectiveness, knock out all sorts of components. If they can knock out that carronade on a regular basis, they are going to be in just fantastic shape. So let's see what these two ships are going, or where they are going, I should say. Merry Men kind of getting into the middle of the map while CakeWatch runs around the outside. Eventually, these two will run into each other. And just watching these two sets of teams mosey around each other, you're reminded when this map was basically, a third bigger than it is right now, and how often you just sat around for 20, 30 minutes not even seeing the other team, even though you were basically moving the entire time.
Very true. I wonder how this Hwacha will do in such enclosed spaces. They definitely have a lot of room to try to dodge and a lot of terrain to deke behind.
Now, is the Silver Sterling going to spot that then it caught fire? They should be able to see the glow of that engine. And
He might be able to sneak
yeah, they
just behind
definitely
that
see him
building.
now.
Yeah, they see him.
And this is going to be
That's how
bad
that
for the
goldfish
Merry Men
turning.
team as they are turned the wrong way. And the Sober Australian coming in with that Watch of Fire. Are they able to get
Nice
anything down
decoy,
whatsoever?
then it caught
No, they're not.
fire.
And then it caught fire, runs into this post, but it actually helps turn around faster than they would have been able to otherwise. And the Broken Submarine is now the one under fire, but the Sober Australian is getting knocked down. Armor goes down, and as I'm getting a little bit of lag here, as the
Sweet poetic
flares
justice.
going.
Then it caught fire. His balloon is down. The blenderfish's balloon is down, being taken out by the drunken Asian's carronade. Now the Sober Australian and the Broken Submarine are brawling. Sober Australian's at about a third health.
And it's Hwacha, it was down. Finally gets
And now
rebuilt.
it's going to be eating mortar for breakfast.
Yep, and the Sober Australian is just hanging on for dear life here. The Drunken Asian has its balloon being taken out, but then it caught fire, and I think this is really the matchup that the Merrymen would have wanted here, with the Blenderfish knocking the Pyramidion down into the ground, and that their own Pyramidion going after the Sober Australian. Now, then it caught fire, is going to abandon the Asian down over in that corner and knows it can't get out here that quickly. And they're just going to try to focus the Australian down as quick as they can. But that'll watch a fire. Doing an okay
Big
job.
hits on the
They're doing
submarine.
quite a good job
Needs
there.
a bit of shoot vent. And his two front guns are down.
Getting
Looks
one
like
of
blue
that
team is
repaired.
starting to hurt a bit.
Ooh, Sober Australian getting knocked around in this building. That's going to be very bad for them as they are
Balloon's
getting
gone.
popped balloons, armor still being rebuilt slowly. However, the Broken Submarine is not in a very good position to assist, but that doesn't matter as the Then It Caught Fire does it all himself, but now has to face the wrath of the Drunken Asian. That sounds like another bad joke. The wrath of the Drunken Asian, or maybe like a Hong Kong kung fu movie.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, it sounds like Wrath of the Drunken Master or whatever.
Yeah,
Was that Jackie Chan movie?
yeah, or no, Legend of Drunken Master, I think is what it was.
That's it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a Jackie Chan movie. So, CakeWatch down 1-0. But the Drunken Asian did scoot on out of here. And now they've got to be the Merrimans have got to be a little bit careful here, as the Sober Australian is going to come back through this side of the building. And I think Then It Caught Fire has caught a little bit of whiff of that. I think both of these ships have, as they are turning to face this Australian, and the Australian bangs off the building, turns itself all the way around.
Pinballing.
Oh my God! They literally flipped the exact opposite this of where they wanted to, but
Hitting him with that fire across that chasm.
Yeah,
That's the
that's-
second time fire's been exchanged through that little crevice. Now Sober Australian's gonna have the Then It Caught Fire's backside if he just turns a little bit more. Then It Caught Fire shoot venting, but hitting a building on the way down. Rough break for the Then It Caught Fire. Drunken Asian's gonna be coming in behind this engagement as Sober Australian flames the Then It Caught Fire.
And then it caught fire. It just got rammed by its own team. And now the Drunken Nation is going to come in. And it's for its own ram. Is it going to be able to pull it off? Or is it going to bump into that terrain? It does. It does bump into that terrain by itself. So it can't really get that full damage from that ram. But then it caught fire. Is in all sorts of trouble here. Drunken Nation
I wonder if
once
that was
again
a
ramming.
tactical ram.
Well, into the building, I kind of doubt it. I think they were going for the full-on ram there. It did work
Yeah,
out
he's
okay.
gonna play
But
try and dribble.
yeah. Now, where did the Sober Australian go? Sober Australian got stuck on more building debris up there, I believe. As Brick Hardcastle now leaves the game, he is disgusted by this display of knockery going around in here. But Drunken Asian sticking on to Then It Caught Fire, and I think Then It Caught Fire has very little time left, so Broken Submarine better get something done here, but
User in the channel
too
timed
late.
out.
Zill evaporated.
Yeah, as the Then It Caught Fire does go down.
Nice mortar fire. Just need to catch that one last one, but he gets his armor back up and he runs out of mortar ammo. Rough break for the Broken Submarine as Watch of Fire
Oh.
rains in on him,
Yikes,
disabling all of
everything.
his guns.
Yeah, there we go. Now, if they can get those front two rebuilt as fast as they can, they still do have a shot here, as the Drunken Asian has very little health left. Just rising up to meet him. Another Hwacha barrage comes in, knocking out more of those guns, just taking them out. And the Denikov fire was spun all the way across the map. It's going to take forever and a half, and they are at the edge of the map here, so they cannot even turn accurately here. The Drunken Asian getting knocked off its arcs on the top
Edge
of
of
this
map
building.
shenanigans as the broken submarine tries to run into nothing.
Yeah,
And the
and
Denikop fires are running in here.
Denikov
Nice
fired, nice little
ram,
ram.
breaking arcs. Or maybe not. No, now
Well,
they're
it kind of
broken.
just
Okay.
now that so it was funny. They got rid of the arc, but the problem was that then it bumped into the broken submarine, which turned the Hwacha right into the Denikov fire. But Denikov fire didn't lose any
Nice
components
play, and
whatsoever.
Drunken Asian's caught up in this building, not able to assist at all.
Yeah, and the
Yeah, he is
Australian's
just
gonna go
purely stuck in
down.
this building right now. His nose, he can't turn. Oh, just managing to turn.
Yeah, and it's gonna have a little
And,
hard, rough time here. Is it gonna be able to get out? That's the real question before these two
Blue team's
Merriman
gonna
ships
introduce him
catch
to the
up.
School of Hard Knocks here.
Yeah. Zill using that edge of the map win to great effectiveness, catapulting himself forward essentially. Drunken Asian returning fire
He
on the
is
broken submarine, but doesn't have
panic
very
ramming all the
much.
buildings.
Yeah, he doesn't have very much time left. And there you go, once again, taking down that Pyramidion for a 3-1 lead over CakeWatch now. Sober Australian spawned on the other side of the map, but even if he didn't, I wouldn't have gone back into that fight at all. Being stuck on top of that building for so long, you knew that your time was running low.
So now a substantial lead for blue team. Red team needs to get 2 kills to tie up.
No, I wouldn't put it past CakeWatch though. I mean, we did see
Oh,
them
neither would I.
come back, being down. I believe it was 3-0 to Glowwater Thralls to win one of their games, 5-3. So, especially on this map, you are never out of it, and that's one of this map or not. That's one of the
One bad ram.
greatest things in this game is up 3-0, up 4-0. You're just never quite sure. You know you got a good feeling about it, sure, but you can never relax because you never quite know what'll happen from engagement to engagement. All right, so the Drunken Asian and Sober Australian hooking up on this side of the map,
Huh?
getting together.
And then they'll go on their CakeWatch patrol. Try to find the Merriman, see if they can get some building shenaniganry to ensue.
Yeah. They are getting
And
spotted.
Denikop Fire is taking a very wide berth here. Flares going down.
Then it caught fire, spotted, broken submarine spotted. Everybody knows where everyone else is. And I feel like this this place where they're about to start fighting is actually going to favor CakeWatch. There's not that much terrain to smack down into.
Sober Australian does have the advantage as he does have the longest range weapon here.
It's going to back
He
up
needs
though.
to
What has
use
he
that
got loaded
Hwacha to
in?
cover. They're both very nervous. This is a Mexican standoff here.
Yeah. Or as somebody said earlier, in an Icarian standoff, that burst shot round of shots there from that Hwacha doesn't do anything. They were just
Yeah,
a little bit
now
too
they
far
know
away.
that that's been expended. Their blue team's willing to start charging
Oh,
right back,
Sober
but he managed
Australian.
to just reload, and then it caught fire. It's getting torn apart.
Yeah, just ran
Had a
right as the
quarter
shots
per
came in
mil.
on it. And we'll see if it managed to repair at all, but I think it's just going to... one more Watch Barrage here will take that ship out. And Sober Australia is actually going to go fourth and use it on the broken submarine instead. And I'm okay.
I agree with that. I mean,
Yeah, I
Denikop Fire
get
is
it.
pretty far behind.
Ooh, the
Wise.
two...
Ooh, bad ram. I do not know what kind of miscommunication just happened on the red team, but that was a big misstep.
Yeah, the
Denikop
Drunken Asian...
Fire's engines are starting to become repaired. They need to start
No,
focusing on one of them.
Drunken Asian was definitely trying to come after Then It Caught Fire. Then It Caught Fire had a brief moment of reprieve before he gets Watched in the face again.
Yeah, and that fire is just going to help take out that balloon and try and help them just rest carefully. Sober Asian going to hit this building. Yeah, bit of a tap. Can't keep descending. Broken Submarine's trying to get fire on him, but the Broken Submarine will not have arcs past
And
that
then it
point, and
caught
it's
fire,
dropping
stuck into a
into a
building,
bridge.
and down it goes. So
Whoa, Drunken Asian absolutely eviscerates Mr. Lambert by
yeah, he got stuck
dribbling him
on.
into the drawbridge there.
Yep, absolutely. And as I said, 3-3. This can definitely still go towards Cake's way. Not a whole lot of damage was done whatsoever to the Cake team. I mean, for the Merry Men, they would have at least wanted to take a sizable chunk of health out of one of those ships. But quick turnaround there by the Cake team. And once again, as I said, I didn't like the way that the Merrymen, or where the Merrymen came in this match at all. This is probably like the biggest open spot that you can find on this map, and they still decided to engage, seemed to fight more around dangerous debris, to use that carrying to full effectiveness. And Merryman actually get a pretty bad spawn here. These two ships are across from each other, and the Broken Submarine is coming in for this into these two ships, and it's just gonna fly
And he's
right
going
by them.
unnoticed. Never mind, he got spotted, but he
Oh, he
can
definitely got
still run.
spotted.
He has plenty of time. Nice play. No, Lambert, don't turn. No, 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 no. Run, run.
Yeah, he needed to at
This
least
is
get
going
around
to
the
be a very
building.
bad start for Blue Team if they choose to engage here.
Well, then it caught fire is getting back on in here, so at least there's that. But I'm not sure how quickly they can make it here.
He cannot afford to lose his front guns. If Silver Australian gets a watcher across his front side, they will lose this engagement.
And
Oh,
they
there's
do
a
get it
couple
taken
guns
out. Then
gone.
it caught fire,
Yeah.
however, is on the Drunken Asian. The Drunken Asian getting slammed down into the ground over here. Then it caught fire, just going to sit on top of them over here, continuing to
Nice.
ram them down into terrain, into buildings, raining all sorts of misery onto the Drunken Asian. Drunken
Blue
Asian.
Team is doing great with this engagement. I changed my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Broken Submarine.
Zill taking out that DPS factor from Red Team by sitting on the Drunken
Oh,
Asian.
Drunken
Now Broken
Asian.
Submarine managing to get those front guns back up.
Oh, still got stuck. Zill got stuck down over here on this little ledge, and that's gonna give the Drunken Asian a little bit of time here to maybe do some
Needs
counter
to carry
fire.
him. Nice.
Does get him, but can Zill get out of here before it takes permanent damage? Its balloon is still down. Now, the problem that up here that the Broken Submarine has is it's completely disabled. It cannot get any sort of fire back onto the the Sober Asian. Then it caught fire is gonna rise on back on here, but that watcher is still
Oh,
completely
nice spawn
disabling.
from the Drunken Asian. They might still be able to make something of this. Sober Australian needs to survive. I don't think Drunken Asian has any other option except rushing in here and trying to help his teammate because he is now 2v1ing with 1 kill left to go here. Zill is going to start carronating him. He does not have a lot of decisions. He needs to try to avoid this fire using any means necessary.
But it's just going to be
He's gonna
not
get
quite
torn
enough as
into
Sober
by mortar.
Asian.
Just getting the armor back
Does get it
up.
back up, and the Drunken Asian is back into the picture here, but the Sober Australian, can he hold on? Oh, so incredibly
He's getting
close.
gatted.
Drunken
No.
Sober Asian does go down, and Merry Men pull it out. And the end, almost an incredible comeback by CakeWatch, but just not quite able to do so. So congratulations to the Merry Men for picking up their first Sunday Rumble victory, and only their second showing ever in the Sunday Rumble. Fantastic games by CakeWatch, some fantastic games all day long. Yeah, I mean, definitely thanks for everyone for sticking around for this long. It has been a great day of Guns of Icarus matches.